Okay, Shalom. This is another episode of Performing Arts. This is Brother Shammai, Yasha Allah Basar. And I want to start giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Respect and charity to all you brothers out there pushing this word with sincerity and truth in the battlefield, putting your life on the front line. Okay. Now, what I want to go into today is based off Psalms 10 and 4. Okay, and I'm going to get that for you. Psalms 10 and 4. And this is dealing about pride, having a proud spirit, being arrogant, haughty. Okay. So the background that you hear is one of the throwback songs is check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? That's right, because these characteristics will get you wrecked. You know, well, I ain't gonna go into that because I don't want to be like, oh, the brother using foul language. He always using foul language, but it'll get you twisted up and bent up by the Most High. Okay. So, Psalms 10 and 4, it says, the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. So, what I'm going to bring out today, how important it is to have the Most High in all your thoughts, especially if you are camp leader or you leading other men, okay, of the circumcisions, okay? And also, too, having these characteristics just in general life will bring you down in shame. But see, like I read before in Psalms 10 and 4, the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thought. So you're not going to really be thinking about him. Even if you're in the world, you're not going to be thinking about the Most High. You're going to be thinking about your own self-gain, which would lead you to the definition of arrogant, haughty, and proud. Okay. Now, one of the illustrations I want to give, some Bible characters, just so that we could check ourselves, self-examine ourselves. Let's go to Exodus chapter 32, and let's go to 18 to 25. I'm going to give you an illustration what happened with Moses and Aaron for having those characteristics. And I'm going to start at verse 18 because I want to get to the point. And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither is it, Exodus 32, 18, that shout for mastery, neither is the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. And it came to pass, as soon as he came near unto the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moses angered waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands and broke them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and stored it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink it. Okay? And then he said, and Moses and Aaron, and Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great a sin upon them? And Aaron said, let not anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knows that the people that thou art set on mischief. For they said unto me, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him. And I said unto them, whosoever have any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. Now, that don't sound right. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, and let's go to naked. Parah.
Strong's H6544. Para.
Para. Para. To lead, act as a leader. To let go, let loose, ignore. To let, avoid, neglect. To loosen, to be loose, be loosened or restrained. To cause refrain, to show lack of restraint. Okay, to let loose, restraint. By implication, to expose, dismiss, figuratively, absolve, begin, avenge, avoid, bear. Okay, that's it on that. So the people, all right, go back. Okay, so they were naked. Okay, and that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies. Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, Who is in the Lord's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, Thus says the Lord, the power of Israel, put every man his sword by his side and go in and out. Now, you know, in this instance, Aaron was supposed to fight with those people, with Israel, and tell them what they was doing was wrong. He had like a flaky spirit at that time. Okay? But at the same time now, did I go to verse 25? All right. Now let's go to Numbers. Let's go to Numbers chapter 20. And let's go to 22 to 29. And he said, Thou shalt not go thou. And Edom came up against him. This is number 20, 22 to 29. Yeah. Let's go to 22. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came into Mount Hor. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto him, unto the Shalakia, and Aaron shall be gathered unto the land. And it says, and Aaron shall be gathered unto the people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel, because you rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Elijah his son, and bring them up unto Mount Hor, and strip Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Elijah his son. And Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there. And Moses did as the Lord commanded, as they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. So now, when you read this story and you go into that, Aaron was the oldest son. He was older than Moses. And Aaron, he did wonderful things. Okay? He was a good spokesman too for Israel. He did a wonderful thing. And that family was the Levitical priests, which would be the so-called Haitians today. Okay? And what happened is that they got prideful. The Most High give you direction and tell you how to do something, or tell you what he want done. You don't do it your way. You do it what he say and how he said to do it. Okay? So, even though he did some good works, even for that one time that he went off, he still had to pay a penalty for that. And that's how deep the Lord is. So you would say to yourself, well, damn, man, Aaron did all this, man. He been into preaching. He did all this other stuff. And he did follow the Lord to the best of his ability. But he still was accountable for that one error that he made. Okay? And being that he made that one error, and he didn't say what? He didn't say the Lord. Okay? He messed up. Okay? And that's the same thing with Moses. Moses did the same thing. He was never to see the promised land. Okay? And let me give you Deuteronomy 32:51. Deuteronomy 32:51. because you trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh. Now he's talking to Aaron. Now he's talking to Moses. Aaron got his already. Okay? In the wilderness of Zin, because you sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel. Yet thou shalt see the land before thee. But thou shalt not go there unto the land which I give to the children of Israel. So even for that one thing, Moses and Aaron, both brothers, paid for that. Okay? And Moses was a good prophet. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he still had to pay for that one thing, that one mark. They're not saying that he's of the elect, that he wouldn't be of the elect, or the Most High going to bring him back. But for that one error, he still had to be accountable for that action. And one of those actions, what was those actions? It was arrogant. It was haughty. It was of having a proud spirit. Okay, not giving honor to the Most High. And that's why it says the theme of this, the title, is Psalms 10 and 4. Okay? Now let's give you another person, and that would be Isaiah. So let's go for illustration. Let's go to 2 Chronicles 26, 11 to 15. I want to just get to the point. Moreover, Isaiah had a host of fighting men. And now keep in mind that when you read the story with Isaiah, he was a good king, man. He did good. He did good when he stayed in the bosom of the Most High. Okay? When he follows the law, statutes, commandments, when he stayed on a righteous path. Okay? Because this goes out to a lot of me niggas. Okay? Me. I did it. Okay? That's a proud, arrogant spirit. Me. Okay? Instead of saying the Lord. And that's why we say Lord willing. Not me. Because it ain't about me. Alright? So it says, moreover, Isaiah had a host of fighting men that went a war, bands according to the number of their account, by the hand of Jaleel the scribe and Messiah, the ruler, under the hand of Hananiah, one of the king's captains. The whole number of the chief of the fathers of the mighty men of valor were 2,600, and under their hand was an army, 300,000 and 7,500, that made war with mighty power to help the king against the enemy. 14. And Isaiah prepared for them throughout all the whole shields and spears and helmets and habergeons and bows and bows and slings to cast stones. And he made in Jerusalem engines, inventing by cunning men. Let's look up engines. I like to see what engines is. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Strong's H2810.
Chishabon. And what is that? Devices, inventions. Okay? Devices, inventions. Okay? Devices, inventions. Okay. And then it says, and he made in Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men, to be on the towers upon the bulwarks, to shoot arrows and great stones withal. And his name spread far abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. What? But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. And a lot of you niggas think like that. You get gassed up, man. You start thinking it's about you. You don't have a humble spirit. And I would like to address this mainly to the circumcision. But I'll also address this to the uncircumcision. But mainly to the circumcision. Why? Because they're supposed to be studying and meditating the fruits of the Spirit, which is being humbleness too. It's a time to be rough and rugged, but it's a time to be humble. And sometimes when you get that rough and rugged attitude, you know what I'm saying, and it's all about me, you digest and you started picking up the arrogant, haughty, proud spirit. Okay? And then it says, but when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to destruction, for he transgressed against the Lord. Okay? For he transgressed against the Lord, his power, and went into the temple of the Lord to burn incense upon the altar of the incense. And Azariah the priest went in after him, and with him 80 priests of the Lord. 80. That's 80 priests of the Lord that were violent men. And they withstood Isaiah the king and said unto him, It appeared not unto thee, Isaiah, to burn incense unto the Lord, but the priests of the sons of Aaron that are consecrated to burn incense. See, because at that time, a Levitical priest was the only one to do the ceremonies and stuff like that in the holy temple to the Most High. It wasn't nobody else. But now today, we are all a priest. Okay? So we got the same lot, all of us. Because that's done away with. But the priests here, they're still the men on the highway and byway. But at that time, that was the Levites. That was their job. That was Aaron that we just mentioned. And Moses and their family, they were the Levitical priests. Okay, so it wasn't for the regular king to even go in the temple. But see, when a man's head get that kind of power, and he thinks that it's all about him, he don't think about all that. He don't think about the Lord. He think about his power. Think about his might. Me. All right? But to the priests, the sons of Aaron, they are consecrated to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for thou hast trespassed. Neither shall it be for thy honor from the Lord thy power. Then Isaiah was wroth. He was angry and had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was wroth with the priest, the leprosy even rose up on his forehead before the priest in the house of the Lord, from beside the incense altar. And and Azariah the chief priest and all the priests looked upon him, and behold, he was leprous in his forehead. And they thrust him out from thence. Yea, himself hasted also to go out, because the Lord had smitten him. Now remember, when we read in the beginning, he was doing so good. He had a lot of engines. He doing a lot of great things. His name was known all over. That don't matter to the Most High. The Most High bring you back down. And then it says in Isaiah 21, was a leper until the day of his death. That's all we need to read. And Isaiah the king was a leper until the day of his death, and dwelt in several houses, being a leper, for he was cut off from the house of the Lord. And Jonathan his son was over the king's house, judging the people of the land. And that's it. Okay? So now, let's go back to Psalms 10. Now, the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. And the Most High is not in all his thoughts. Because if the Most High was in your thoughts, like King Isaiah, he would have stayed humble. He would have stayed in his place. He would have been like, that's not my position. You know what I'm saying? My position is just being a king and ruler. But the position of the Levites, only them are allowed to go into the temple. But when you got that much power, you think a lot of yourself, too high of yourself. Now let's go on to the word of pride before we close out.
Strong's H 1363. Govah.
Gobah. Now let's go to the root word. It means to be high, be exalted, to be high, lofty, to be exalted, to be lofty, to be haughty. Okay, that's the word we're looking for. To be haughty, to be arrogant, bad sense. Because the Most High, in cases of Aaron and Moses, they didn't give the praises to the Most High. Okay, they either one of them seen the promised land. Aaron died on the hill, up on the hill on Mount Hor. His son Elijah took the place. Okay? Then Moses, he got to go on the top of the hill to see the promised land, but he would never step in the promised land. Okay? And King Uzziah, he was a great king. He had everything. You know what I'm saying? His name rung bells all over the place, he spread it abroad almost to Egypt. When according to 2 Chronicles 26 and 8, okay? And that was it. You know? But at the end of that, he got gassed up. And that's what happened to a lot of us brothers. You never been nothing no time in your life. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody tries to give you a little title or a little something like that, you run with it and you get gassed up. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget, man, the proud always crash, baby. And what goes up must come down. You know what I'm saying? So I advise you, to all the brothers of the circumcision, first and foremost, and to the brothers of the circumcision, even if you're not part of the circumcision, but you hearing this word, and you're going to be a part of the body of Mashiach Yahawashah, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. This is another episode of Performance Arts. Brother Prince Shemai Yasha Allah Basar. Shalom.